Alright guys, I decided I wanted to make this tutorial about how to start off with your first Amnesia The Dark Descent custom story. I will provide all the links in the description to make it as easy as I can for you to understand. And also, although this is done on a Mac, it is very similar on a Windows, so don't worry too much about that. The first thing you're going to need is the actual level editor. This is provided by the Frictional games themselves. I will provide this link in the description, as I said. Open up this link, wiki.frictionalgames.com, and it will link you to their tools. If you're on Windows, you download the Windows HPL Editor Suite right here. Linux is right down here, and if you're on the Mac, you have two choices. You have the automated installer, and you have the manual download. As it said, only use the manual install if this does not work. I don't know when this would not work, but I guess if it doesn't, then just try this. It's very easy to use both of them anyway. So just download this one. After downloading the file, just click it to open it, and it will open up this little disk window. There's a README file here. Basically it says the requirements, and you must have purchased Amnesia The Dark Descent, which I hope you have. It does work on the Steam version, and it does require the 1.0.1.2 patch. If you have it on Steam, it will always be up to date. If you bought it as retail, you can download the patches on their website. When you want to install it, just double click the installer right here. It might come up with this warning because it's downloaded from the internet. Just click open, and there's the installer right here. Just go through this installer and it will update, and it will install the whole thing. Since I already have it installed, I'm not gonna install it again because I think it will overwrite my previous files, and I kind of want to keep them. But it should be fairly simple. Just click next, and should go through this and install the whole thing. However, if this does not work, you might want to try the manual download. I'm just going to quit out this right now, and I'm going to get the manual download, and I will show you how to install it the manual way. So once you have the manual download, you don't really need to worry about this if the installer worked, but if it did not, then just open this one. It will open a similar window, but instead of the installer, it will just have the files in a folder. If you open this, there will be these files, which is pretty much what the installer would do. The installer would place these in your Amnesia folder. If it does not work, just place these in your Amnesia folder. It's a bit different on Steam and on retail. I don't know exactly how it is on the retail one, but the Steam one is pretty simple, so I'm going to show you how to navigate to the correct folder. Even if you did use the other installer and it worked, you still kind of want to open that folder. So yeah. To find your Amnesia folder, if you are using the Steam version, just right click on Finder, go to Folder. It will open up this little navigation bar. Just type in this, I will have it in the description. Basically you will open the folder Library, Application Support, Steam, SteamApps, Common, Amnesia The Dark Descent. So once you pasted that in, just click Go, and it should open a folder with the files that Amnesia has in it. This is where you place all the level editor files. I believe in the retail version, you have to put the level editor files inside its own folder inside there. Maybe this one editor or something like that. But if you're using the Steam one, you just put them directly in here. That should pretty much install it. But hopefully your automated installer worked, because it's a lot easier, a lot faster, and I'm not sure if this last thing that I will cover right now is actually included in it. If the installer worked, next next time you open the Amnesia launcher, you should see some new things on it. I believe this button is new. It basically just opens the folder where you place all your custom stories. It also has a new tab, which is called the Editor Suite. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Basically, it has all the editors right here: the level editor, material, particle, and model editor. And over here it has the map viewer and a model viewer. And it also has another custom stories button. If you have all these, then that is good because it's easy to navigate around with. On the Windows version, these things do not appear at all as far as I know. So that is, I guess, a shame. Once you have installed the editor, that is pretty much the installation complete, and you're now actually able to work on it. However, there are a few files that you do need to have to be able to actually run and efficiently use a custom story. If you go to another link in my description, I will link you to a download that I have preset. Basically, it's a base custom story folder, and it includes the files that you most likely want to use and you kind of need to be able to use a custom story. I recommend you download this. It will come out as a zip file. You can unzip it and you can put this folder in your custom stories folder that you can open through your launcher. If you do not have it on your launcher, you could just place it in your normal custom stories folder by going back to go to folder and back to this. I recommend putting an alias or a shortcut somewhere so it's easy to get to. In here there should be a custom stories folder. I have highlighted it because I use it a lot. Basically you just open this folder and you just put it in here. I already have it though. Inside here you will find the main files you need in a custom story. You will find these in every custom story you download, so they are very common. There are 4 files that I have provided. You can still create more folders for more things like custom sounds, custom models, and stuff like that. So you don't need to use those to make your own custom story. You do need your own maps though, but you don't need your own models. You can use the ones that comes with Amnesia. So now I'm just going to go through all these files and tell you exactly what they do and how to use them. But this won't be a tutorial exactly what you use each file for. Like this one is used for a lot of things, but most of them are regarding other tutorials like how to make certain things in the level editor or scripting or stuff like that. I'll just explain what it is, but I'll go more into detail in other videos. Let me start with this file. This is the main custom story file, basically just saying what it will do when it starts. If you open this up, there are a few things you can edit right here. The first thing, the image file. This will be the name of another file in your folder, which is right here. This will basically just be the background image when you open it up. It's very simple. This will be the name of your custom story. Right now I'm just calling it tutorial, but just edit it to anything you want. This will be the author. Just put your name in here, or whoever made it. This will be the maps folder. Basically, if it says maps slash, it will just refer to a maps folder inside your custom story. You can just keep it like that. You don't need to do anything about it. The start map will be which map is loaded first. This map needs to be inside the folder that you defined earlier. And the start position is basically where in the level it's going to spawn you, like the first time. You don't really need this at all, but if you have a lot of spawn points, you might want to define which one you use. The next file is just the picture itself. You can edit this, but you should keep the same dimensions, I recommend, because these are the dimensions. I will put the dimensions in the description if you want to make something, or you could just edit the one that I provided. The next one, extraenglish.lang. You can, by the way, if you could not open this by default, you can just right click it and open with text edit or any other text editor. Same with this one, you can open it with text edit. I've already set it to default. Once you open this up, basically what this file is, it stores every text in the game in this file. I will go through all of these things right now. You will notice the file stat starts with language. Don't worry about what this means, it's just part of the code. But all the other ones are part of a category. They start with category name, and then they end with a slash category, basically ending the block. The first block, custom story main, it will have this one thing, description. Whatever you write inside this place will be the description of the story. Basically, you can write your pre-story or background or other information about who made it and stuff like that. Anything. Down here, we have notes. I personally put these things right here to make it a little easy to understand. Basically, it is in the category journal, and every time there's an entry name note underscore name as well as text, whatever is inside here you can edit yourself. I will come more into those when I make the note tutorials. Under here are diaries, which are pretty much the same as notes, they're just diaries instead. Under here we have mementos, which start with quest underscore, and they are mementos. Here we have item names and descriptions, which for your names you can name them whatever, you can call them whatever. These are signs. When you look at something, it will display a message. These are levels. When you look at a level door, it will display a message, usually telling you where you're leading. And these are death hints. Basically they come on, this is the default one, you have to carry on. This is the default death hint when you die. You can always make your own categories, but some of them needs to be as they are. Lastly, there's the maps folder. If you open this up, this is the name of the map. This is only one map though, the two files. There are always two files for each map. This is what the map actually looks like, which is .map. This is the scripting of the map, which determines what actually happens in the map, which is .hps. I will come more into scripting tutorials later on, but you need this basically to tell all the events that's going to happen in a level, wherever anything's going to happen, if you want to pick up something and use it, or if you want to be transported. There are a lot of things you can do with the map with only the level editor. You can still play it without a file, but you really want one to make it more interesting. And that is pretty much all the files that come with. If you know how to make a custom story, you can just start off. If you need any more help, I will make more videos on separate things. If you want to get started with level editing, by the way, just open up your level editor. It will look somewhat like this. And you can just click open, or if you don't have a file yet, you can just edit files. One base key you need in this is don't hold down the Alt key, and this you can rotate the camera, zoom in, and if you also need a mouse wheel. Click that down to rotate the camera. And yeah, I will make more tutorials about this, yes, but okay. This is pretty much a setup, basic setup of how to set up your first custom story. And you can run this as it is right now and just test it if you like. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you later with another tutorial.